If you think you know how much money you need to retire, well, you're probably wrong. And in 2025's economy, being wrong isn't just dangerous, it's fatal to your financial future. I'm not saying this to scare you, I'm saying because the retirement math that you've been told to use is fundamentally broken. Today, I'm going to share with you how the real numbers actually work, why your current retirement plan is almost certainly to fall, and what you can ultimately do about it. Today, I'm going to show you the real numbers, why your current plan will almost certainly fall short, and exactly how to replace it with a system that makes financial freedom inevitable in as little as 10 years or less. Now listen, the traditional formula for retirement, it sounds kind of simple. Save as much as you can, invest it in the market, work for 40 years, then live off of what you've built. I mean, that sounds like a simple plan with a yellow brick road all the way to the retirement that you want. But while that plan might have worked decades ago, in this economy, it no longer works. And especially the economy that you're retiring into, it's not the same economy that your parents retired into. Back then, interest rates were so much higher. Inflation was low or even non-existent. And life expectancy, it was so much shorter. Housing, education, and healthcare, they were all affordable, but today, it's a completely different game. So here's what you're up against in 2025. Number one is inflation. Now, the government likes to quote inflation at 1%, 2%, maybe 3%. In fact, the Federal Reserve has a target inflation rate of 2%. Now, if that were even true, what this ultimately means is every 30 years, the cost of living doubles. It means that by default, their target is to double your cost of living, which means you have to double the amount that you're going to have saved for retirement. That's if the government hits their 2% target inflation rate. But the real reality is, the real inflation number that really hits your wallet and your bank account is closer to the amount of money that the government has printed, which is close to 5, 6, even 7% since the year 2000. We've been living in this world for decades. The second thing that you're up against is interest rates. The bond market, which used to be the safe part of your portfolio, it's getting hammered. It's getting destroyed. In fact, there is a bond crisis right now. And ultimately what this means is your portfolio, when it's in the market, is overly exposed to equities. It's overly exposed to risk. And number three is longevity. Retiring at 65 could mean you need income for the next 25, 30, even 40 years. People are living longer than ever before. Healthcare, while it's producing longer life expectancies, that's a blessing for life. But man, that's a challenge for retirement planning because you now have to make your money last for just as long as you were working. I mean, imagine that. If you work for 40 years and you're retired for 40 years, imagine having a portfolio big enough to support you for 40 years. And the fourth one is taxes. You've probably been told to divert your taxes, to shield you from taxes today, and to defer your taxes in things like 401ks and IRAs. What this ultimately means is you've deferred your biggest liability, future taxation, to the time when you can least afford it, when you're retired. And the last but not least is market volatility. One bad year in the market can start a negative downward spiral in your portfolio. I want you to imagine this. When you're progressing towards retirement, market volatility, it's not really that big of a problem. You can see it, it's frustrating, you see your account balance drop, but it doesn't affect your lifestyle. Your paycheck, your income is what funds your lifestyle. But in retirement, that flips upside down. Now, when you have a market loss, not only does your portfolio go down because of the market, you also have to take money out of your portfolio to fund your retirement. It's a double negative impact and it wreaks havoc on most people's retirement plans. So let's put some real numbers to this. Now, if you want $10,000 per month in today's dollars, you might think that you need maybe $1 million, $1.5 million saved to get you there. And that's good rationale. That's good math on the surface. If you had a $1.5 million portfolio and it was generating what you think the average return in the market is, 8%, that 8% would equal $10,000 a month or $120,000 a year. But here's the reality. You can't spend average returns in retirement. You have to spend actual returns. What happens when the market craters 20%? That's not an 8% gain, that's a 20% loss, and you need income at the very same time. So the real reality is, without inflation, you need $3 million just to generate $10,000 a month in income. That's the safe withdrawal rate that Wall Street never wants to tell you. But then if we add the complexity of what we just talked about on top of that, things like inflation, the fact that you're probably going to last 20, 30, 40 years in retirement, and the things like 2% inflation doubling the cost of living over 30 years, what you're actually going to need is closer to $5, $6, maybe even $7 million just to generate $10,000 a month in lifestyle expenses. My friends, that's crazy, because when you really look at it, the median household net worth for people in the early 50s is about $250,000. That's not even close to what is necessary. So I've seen it happen too many times. Someone walks into retirement thinking they're set, and within a few years, they're back at work because they realize they're drawing down their portfolio and their biggest fear starts to rise in retirement. What if I run out of money when I don't have a job? What if I run out of money in retirement in my 70s and I have to rely on Social Security or go live with my kids or live in abject poverty? Now listen, most people find themselves here not because of crazy spending, but because they're playing by rules that don't work anymore in the game of money, in the game of retirement. And here's the part that makes me just absolutely frustrated. It's not your fault. The reality of it is you're doing everything right. You're doing everything you've been told to do, but what no one has told you, what no one has explained to you clearly is that the rules of the game of money have changed. No one bothered to tell you because the longer you stay ignorant to this fact, the more money you give Wall Street and they profit off of that ignorance. And the people who profit in this system, they want to keep you in the dark as long as possible. They have zero incentive to give you any education and to fix the system that they're leading you in. Most advisors, they're not building you for a freedom plan. They're building an asset management plan because they get paid based on how much of your money stays in their control. When you send money off and they manage that money in a portfolio and they tell you you're getting a 5, 6, 7, 8, 10% return, they get to siphon right off the top of that. It doesn't matter if you win. It doesn't matter if the market goes down. It doesn't matter if they make good bets or bad bets. They win no matter what. And you only get what's left over. The system works for them because your capital stays tied up for decades. They talk about average returns while your real spending power is eaten alive by inflation, taxes, and market swings. If you've ever been told, don't worry, just stay the course, ask yourself this: who benefits from this advice? It's certainly not you, my friend. Staying the course just allows them to keep control over your money and make you more dependent on a system that is literally designed to keep you trapped. So here's the shift. I want you to stop obsessing over net worth. Start measuring your life by monthly income. Monthly income that you don't have to trade your time for. That's really what retirement, what passive income is all about. It's about owning and controlling the most valuable resource that you have, your time. That's why the passive income machine is designed to do a couple of things. Number one, it's designed to help you own real assets that rise with inflation, like turnkey real estate and asset-backed lending. Number two, build those assets inside of a vault strategy that grows all of your profits tax-free. It keeps your money completely liquid and it lets you borrow like a bank without interrupting your compounding ever. Number three, hit your strike number. This is the most important number that you need to know if you want to be financially free. This is the monthly income that you need to cover your basic living expenses. And once you hit this number in passive cash flow, you're free. Whether that number is $4,000 a month, $8,000 or $20,000 a month. Knowing your strike number is the first step to clarity on the path to financial freedom. Now, let me give you a quick example. A client came to me with about $500,000 saved in a traditional retirement model that might have given them about $20,000 a year before taxes in retirement. But inside of the passive income machine, we flipped everything on its head. We put that $500,000 to work in assets that protected the principal, that doubled their retirement income, and that gave them a predictable path to grow in the future. That same $500,000 now for them generates about $40,000 to $50,000 a month in interest only income. They never have to worry about running out of money. It's also aligned with inflation and tax advantages, meaning more spendable money hits their pocket and their income rises as inflation rises as well. This is the power of understanding how the economy works and how to put the economic principles aligned in your favor, rather than sending your money off, blindly closing your eyes, crossing your fingers, and hoping that they, Wall Street, will take care of all of your retirement dreams. My friends, stop living in the dark. Stop believing in an illusion, because the faster you wake up, the faster you can get to real work. So if you're tired of chasing outdated math that leaves you absolutely vulnerable, it's time to step into a system that actually works. In today's economy, that's exactly what I build with people inside of the passive income machine. It's how you replace your income in 10 years or less, using assets that rise with inflation, creating tax-free income, and giving you, my friends, complete control because you're willing to raise your financial IQ. If you want to see exactly how this can work for you, I want you to book a free passive income machine strategy strategy call. We'll map out your entire plan, step by step, so you can stop guessing and start planning, start strategizing, and start taking control over your future instead of being dependent on someone else. This will allow you to start building a real plan that's meaningful to you and what you actually want. Now, my friends, it's the first link in the description below. Click on it right now.